Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Patriot Nation TV. I'm your host, Tim Davis, aka Professor X, your New Age Patriot with the 1776 attitude. Just one man, one opinion, trying to connect the dots, trying to make sense of it all in this bizarre world. Bizarre world it is. Bizarre world it is. It is Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. And this show is part 3 of a 4-part series. Scorched Earth, connecting the dots, and a Democrats' plan of scorched earth policies. If you're new to the show, please hit like, give the thumbs up, notification bell, and subscribe. Need to get the message out. Being shadow banned. And if you missed the other shows, episode 1, where I talked and articulated the executive orders of legal plunder, farming, so on and so on. Part 2, which didn't get as many views as I thought it would. So please tune in and hit episode 2, part 2. Check it out. Where we talk about the student debt forgiveness, executive orders, scorched earth, connecting the dots. And this brings me to today. Part 3, the war on terror. The war on terror, which began 21 years ago. This is coming September, a couple of days away. The war on terror, one man, one opinion, is a war on you. Is a war on you. So, like I said, please tune in. I'm going to explain it now, but tune in. Hit the notifications for the next show that I'm doing, part 4. So let's talk about this war on terror. Yes, it's a war against you. It always has been. Always has been. All under the guise of safety and security. Using tools of tyranny against you, such as the Patriot Act, the NDAA Act, the media, and so on and so on. As we see now in 2022, going on 21, almost 23, 21, almost 22 years of tyranny, Patriot Act is being used to label parents as domestic terrorists, Christians as nationalists or white nationalists, the Gladstone flag, the Betsy Ross flag as terrorist symbols. The FBI, DHS has been weaponized against us. It was used against Trump. We've seen it multiple times. And his associates, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Steve Bannon, Zelensky, just goes on and on. General Flynn, name a few. Do we move forward on steroids with the NDAA Act? Indefinite detention centers, right? Indefinite detention, no due process. We see it now with the victims of the January 6th so-called Insurrection Act. We see the media propaganda being played out from the Hunter Biden laptop, which is now confirmed, which Facebook, Twitter, and other social media outlets violated your First Amendment of free speech and free press, because we the people are free press. Me, Patriot Nation TV, I'm free press. We're free press, every single one of us. You get the argument of people arguing, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, YouTube, it's private company. Yes, it is a private company, correct. But it's also violating freedom of press, because we, the people, are freedom of press. We're the press. I'm a press. I'm a TV show. We see the NDAA Act with the Trump FISA warrants and the raids. We see it. It's coming to you next. You're next. So this brings me to the Scorched Earth, Part 3, the War on Terror. Right? Let me give you a little diagram. Here we go. The War on Terror. It is designed to be an infinity war. And on you. See where it says, here you are here. That's 9/11. That's where it began. Keeps going in circles and circles and circles. It's the war of infinity. It's not designed to win. It's not supposed to win. It's supposed to enslave you. You, me, common man, woman, child. So what is this U.S. Patriot Act that we all fell for? I fell for it too in the beginning until I read it around 2003. Really read it. The USA Patriot Act is the story of an impulsive bill that eviscerated, annihilates America's civil liberties. It does. You say what you want about it. Liberty or death, right? What is the Patriot Act about? What is it about? You got to ask yourself, So let's start off where it was, the Patriot Act. After 9/11, Attorney General John Ashcroft recommended a series of laws to fight terrorism. George Bush signed the act into law October 21st, 2021. That's why I say we're approaching, 32 days away, the anniversary of it. Bush calling it the act, a new tool, their words, not my words, their words, a new tool to fight the present danger of international terrorists who want to take my liberties and freedoms away. That's what they told me, weapons of mass destruction. That's what they told me. They told you the same thing. Then we move up to 2006. Wasn't enough. Bush updates the law, the Patriot Act. He updates it, upgrades it. Now, if you look at the Patriot Act gives the Attorney General and federal law enforcement unnecessary and permanent new powers to violate your civil liberties, my civil liberties, that go far beyond the stated goal of fighting international terrorism, which the Patriot Act was formed for, right? We all, Patriot Act, ooh, sounds good. 9/11, ooh, sounds great. It was designed to fight international terrorists. But here's what really happened 21 years later. It reduced the checks and balances of government oversight. It reduced public accountability. It reduced the ability of the public to challenge a government search in court. It allowed government officials to target citizens under the criminal investigation. And I guess the parents, me, you, with social media, acting as acting as a journalist. It allowed for unlawful imprisonment. We see with the January 6th so-called insurrectionists. That was part of the NDAA Act. So basically those 5 things I said, I'll hit 4 real quick. Number 1, it reduces the checks and balances on government oversight. Legal restraints were put in place to protect the rights of American citizens. In a moment of panic, Congress gave law enforcement officials permission to collect intelligence on legal citizens of the U.S. At the same time, judicial oversight was reduced, allowing law enforcement to act without always needing to get the permission of the courts. Violation of your 4th Amendment. Patriot Act killed it. It reduced public accountability. We can't hold our public officials accountable. One way to keep law enforcement accountable for their actions is through public oversight, and they got rid of it. We could talk about qualified immunity and stuff like that, but it goes past that. Number 3, it reduced the ability of the public to challenge a government search in court. 6th Amendment, 4th Amendment, 9th Amendment. Many secret search warrants that are issued by the court through the legislation of the Patriot Act come with a gag order. As we see in 2017, I'm a victim of it. Lord knows I'm a victim of it. In 2017, officials used Facebook information to infiltrate protest planning meetings. they didn't use Facebook against me for planning meetings, but they used Facebook to silence me, deactivate my account. Same as YouTube. This might get deactivated. Who knows? All under the Patriot Act. Number 4, it allowed government officials to target citizens, like parents, going to PTA meetings, Board of Education meetings. It allowed government officials to target citizens not under criminal investigation. As we've seen in 2015, the public discovered that the NSA was collecting phone data in bulk. Edward Snowden comes to mind, right? Although this act was eventually deemed illegal, the information had been reviewed on people who were never under a criminal investigation. Trump, 2015, coming down the escalator. This is the Patriot Act. This is what it is. The Patriot Act, turning citizens into suspects since 2001. So as we're approaching the 21st anniversary of the Patriot Act, what does 21 years get us? It gets us spying on American citizens, being groped by the TSA, funding rebels who became Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, whatever you want to call them, ISIS, Nazi Ukrainians in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, bombing weddings, hospitals, and schools in the Middle East. That's what we're seeing, right? Let's be completely honest, folks. Things are worse now than they were pre-9/11. So this brings me to the Patriot Act. Try to sum this up real quick. The Patriot Act. Essential questions. Ask yourselves. Leave a comment, please. Leave a comment. The essential questions I'm going to ask you is this: regarding the Patriot Act. Is it a legitimate law to protect national security? Or is it a violation of your civil liberties? I'll ask that question at the end of this video. So that was during the Bush administration, Bush 43. Then we move forward into the Obama administration. That patsy played the role perfect. Remember, Obama campaigned against the Patriot Act and NSA phone tapping, waterboarding, such things like that. So after he overwhelmingly wins the election, what does he do? He doesn't do what he campaigned against by removing the Patriot Act and NSA Act, the phone tapping, so on and so on. He strengthens the programs tenfold. Yes. Remember, he campaigned against the Patriot Act. Then once he gets elected and sworn in, he extends the Patriot Act and signs the NDAA Act. What is the NDAA Act? Without going into hours of it, I'll put it to you this way in simple layman terms. It's a bill that designates the U.S. as an official war zone. We're a war zone. The Infinity War, right? Remember? The war on terror, the Infinity War, is a war on you. One more time. Say it. That's what it's about. It gives the government the authority to arrest and to detain any U.S. citizen for any reason with no right to a fair trial or any other constitutional rights. Sum up in layman's term. But that wasn't enough for Obama. With his excessive executive orders, like Joe Biden, who was his vice president. I gave his executive orders in episode 1. And one of his first executive orders Obama did was he unilaterally signed an executive order to officially end practices of torture on suspects, foreign terrorists, and extended them the American rights. He gave them American rights. Not to go too far into it, you can do the research yourself. Executive Order 13603, which Biden, right? Joe Biden, Biden's vice president. He extended it. It's an executive. Look it up. Look it up. He extended Order 13603, executive order, where at the time of the president's choosing, the federal government may take over all forms of energy, all forms of civil transportation, all usable water, and all sources, all commodities and products that are compatible of being ingested by either human beings or animals, health resources, drugs, biological products, medical devices, materials, facilities, health supply services, so on and so on. We've seen it. If you really look at the Obama and Bush administration, they're just extensions of the Clinton, Bush 41, it's a new world order. These guys are criminals. These are a criminal cabal. It's tyranny. And that's why these midterm elections are very important. It's tyranny in the midterms. So I ask yourself again, ask yourselves, I ask you, leave a comment, please. Between the Patriot Act, the NDAA Act, ask yourself, is it a legitimate law to protect national security, or is it a violation of your civil liberties? That's up to you to answer. So I'm going to end this show quick. It's under 20 minutes. Please hit like, hit subscribe, notification bell. Tune in to episode 4, part 4 of this. And if you enjoyed the show, tune in, please. Tune in. Part 4 will be Scorched Earth. And I'll be discussing, is it biblical, coincidence, or by design? Leave a comment, hit like and share, notification bell. This is where I'm going to go with part 4. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Tim Davis, a.k.a. Professor X, your New Age Patriot with the 1776 attitude. Signing out. God bless. God bless you. God bless America. Peace.